Well, would you look at that? It is a beautiful, beautiful day in the markets. We have dumped thousands of dollars. Coins are down a lot at this current moment. We can see that pretty much yesterday, roughly around this time, Bitcoin was pretty much at 100, almost at $103,000. And from there till the bottom, it dropped over $6,500 in just under a day. Now, we did talk about how there will be future shakeouts, right? How there will be future shakeouts. And this was one of them. This was one of them. This move doesn't concern me too much, right? Because when we treat trading like a game of ping pong, right? We had these bottoms over here roughly at like $92,500. We had, bottoms there that got swept, right? Liquidity sweep. And the next thing to do was to enter the weekly order block, right? That was the next ping. So we did that, yesterday. Today we sold off. And the next move to do is to enter back into this current weekly order block to ping up higher, right? That is ultimately the next move that I expect, right? We could start retracing now, but I still think there's a chance we go a little lower to like 95,000 or so. So we will have to see how that plays out, right? The daily looks absolutely terrible, right? We can see the daily is a huge sell candle. Now, I do think there is going to be a little bit of retracement. I don't think like this is it for the bottom. I still think we can go a little lower, but obviously there's going to be some kind of recovery before we continue going down. That is what I believe. I could be wrong, but I doubt it that it was just one big crash. Something similar to this where we tank a lot and then we recover, right? That is kind of what I expect. We should not be going ever below 92,000, I would say, this cycle, right? I believe this is the sideways movement, right? This is the sideways movement consolidation for us to continue going higher. For me, Bitcoin still has a lot um more to go pretty much, right? We still think, Bitcoin will go at least probably to like 130, 150K. I don't know exactly where it's going to top, but I still think it overall has a few more months of bullish price action. The difference between this and last cycle is that Bitcoin is going to have to go sideways more often to continue going up. See, the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, it is easier to pump price from down here of like let's say $12,000 up to 20,000, and then from 20,000 to 65,000, right? It is easier to do that without stopping too much um compared to where we're at now. So we can see when we go back in time, we had weeks where it's mainly green. Sure, over here there was a little period of time where this was pretty much like the end of December, early January, where we did go sideways, right? So it's kind of playing out the same. We're going sideways, and then we did continue pushing up. Now, I think overall we are going to be stopping maybe more often and a little longer. We can already see that mid-November, we technically have been already kind of going sideways. We just still continue going up, but we could tell already that price action from mid-November, down here is still relevant, right? And for me, is the reason why that is because it takes longer to go sideways and to push up further, right? That's just the name of the game. When something, is already at such a big market cap, it is going to take longer and longer for price to go up. So yeah, long term, I am still very, very bullish. Short term, a little bearish, but that is okay. We can see when we go over here, altcoins obviously took a big, big dump overall, right? We went to the top 100, you know, pretty much all red. This is a little green, which is surprising. In the last hour, they are slightly recovering, just like Bitcoin. Over the last week, there still have been many, many good explosions and expansions, generally speaking. So, very, very good. When we go to, the daily and onto, the 100 to 200 coin area where some of us, are like, turbo over here. You see turbo went down a good amount. I know people like Arrow, I have AKT, I have some other big boys, people have Mog, right? So everything is just kind of taking a dip. Me and the people in the private community are, making the most out of this opportunity. We are buying, right? We are listing out coins to be buying. We are, telling the community step by step what to do. So if you guys want to join, I highly recommend it. You know, right now in the cycle, we are still doing fairly good. When we go to here, right, we did talk about just the other day how we are broken out of a certain channel, right? When we go over here, you're gonna see when we go diagonal, right? We broke out of this diagonal trend line, this diagonal channel, we broke out. And now we are waiting to see if we're going to create a higher low for more confirmation. So we have a high over here. We have a low over here. Then we have a lower high over here. And we have a lower low. So we are creating a staircase down, right? You can see boom, 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 right? We are creating a staircase down like this. And then we had another, right? Another lower high in this. But then you can see over here, we did have a higher low. So we kind of went like this, and then we went like this, creating a higher high. So we created a higher high over this here. And now we are looking to see if we're going to hold and create a higher low, bottoming out somewhere here before we continue pushing up. Let me just draw this out again. So we can see we're going down, up, down, but not as much down. Now we went further up than this point, and now we're seeing if we could, have this point be higher than this point to continue pushing up. And I believe once this kind of happens, once we go past this point of like 380 billion, 390 billion, then I believe, that's going to be it. That is going to be it. I doubt we're going to be, breaking structure again and going to the downside. It just wouldn't make sense with, well, it just wouldn't make sense. Really wouldn't make sense, right? Because we did ping pong off of, price, right? We went up, we had a nice rally, then we topped, right? We topped off of this top, right? We bounced here. Then we went bounced down off of these lows, right? We retested. Then we went up off of these highs, right? We bounced off these highs. Then we went back down off of this support over here, right? Pretty much creating a higher low. And then now we're going to be looking to break out, right? We're looking to be breaking out of this like the 480 billion market cap area for all the altcoins. And for me, that's going to be happening, right? That is pretty much inevitable at this point. There's no reason why it shouldn't. Like I said, things were a little bit more smooth overall last cycle, right? They might take more time this time around. Well, you can see when we're on the weekly, we can see how shaky it was, right? How much manipulation, how much manipulation, how much manipulation. And then we still had like kind of like a scary dip right below, which makes me, like I said, believe we will still have one more dump, at least one more right before the big pump. Big dump, recovery, pump, 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 pump. And then we still had some kind of shakeouts, right? We still had a little bit of shakeouts. And then we just kept going up, right? We just kept going up, 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 up. But you can see it's been kind of wicky, right? So even throughout this whole cycle, I believe they're going to be trying to shake us out, with one day or two here or there, which is why it's very, very important to be just paying attention and pretty much, at this current moment, you don't really have to be paying attention to too much, right? When the time comes, you just got to pay attention, focus on the structure, don't get over emotional. I know lots of money is involved, but everything is going to turn out well as long as you hold a good or decent project. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.